What documents are needed for a mortgage pre-approval process? There's been a lot of controversy about this, and some confusion. So I decided to break it down and tell everyone why and what's needed. So let's start with income documentation. So for a regular transaction where we're using just regular income documentation, because there are other products that are available on the marketplace with no tax returns needed, we're just going to talk about just basic regular income documentation loan where you want to use the best rate. So for this, we need the following. If you work for a company, if you receive a W-2, we normally need pay stubs, and pay stubs just for the past month. Do not worry about your pay stubs from 3 months ago. We're not going to need it. Just the most recent consecutive 30 days pay stubs. If you get paid once a week, obviously we need 4 of them. If you get paid, let's say, once a month, just 1 pay stub is enough. Next, Form W-2 for the past 2 years is always required. So from your employer, Form W-2 that you normally give to your accountant, we also need to analyze it. And if your tax return is normally needed as well. So those are the documents that the mortgage processor or mortgage loan originator will need to determine what you qualify for. But that's not everything. By the way, at the end of the video, I'm going to connect all of these things together, why they're needed. So please watch until the end. Now, suppose you're self-employed, you're working for yourself. In this case, very rarely self-employed people write themselves a pay stub. Sometimes it happens, but we're not going to need it anyway. Form W-2, if it's issued, if you're self-employed to yourself, we need it. So Form W-2, definitely tax returns. And if you own a business, we need the business tax returns as well. If you own more than one business, we need all of them. There are certain exceptions, but normally that's what we need. Next thing is if you own real estate property already, we will need things like mortgage statement and tax bills for the property, real estate tax bill, insurance coverage proof. All of this is needed. If what you own already or what you're buying has what's called HOA or homeowners association, and there are dues associated with this, we'll definitely need a proof of maintenance or common charge or homeowners association fee. I just hope you understand where I'm going with this. You see, every expense that is related to or every income that's related, we will need it to analyze whether a person is pre-qualified or not. So let's continue. What about the less kind of traditional ways of income? Suppose someone is getting child support, receiving child support, or paying child support. We will need that documentation as well. Maybe just a court-mandated paper. If a person is receiving Social Security or pension benefits, absolutely, pension award letter, Social Security award letter. If you're receiving an annuity, okay, or a disability payment, and you want us to use it in calculations, yes, we will need proof of that as well. That, for the most part, covers the income section. Let's talk about employment. Usually for employment, we're not going to need proof at the beginning. That comes later in the process. But your mortgage specialist would like to know how long you're staying at your current job, how often you switch jobs. If you're self-employed, if you're the business owner, would like to know how long you own a business for. So that covers income and employment for the most part. Now, also assets, money needed for transaction. So that encompasses what's called bank statements. So the amount of money that you have on the bank statement, whether your checking account, savings, or the equity, if you have some stocks that you possess, and you want that amount to be considered, would like to know, as well as some pension statements. Pension statements you can provide later, as long as you can just disclose it. It's not really needed for the pre-approval, for us to determine if you're pre-approved. As long as you just state how much pension you have, we might require it later. But things like down payment and closing costs, that amount should be on your bank account, and we should see it right away. If you don't have, and if it's coming, we should know where the gifts are coming from. This is all ideally needed for the pre-approval. And if you have business bank statements, we'd like to know that you would like to see what the amounts are on them as well. Lastly, credit report. That is the key for the pre-approval process. The way it's done, a potential borrower, potential home buyer, or if you'd like to refinance, completes an authorization authorizing us to run the credit. We are contracted with a third-party company that can pull the credit report for you, and then we'll see what else is there that we can find on your papers that you provided. For example, you have a car lease. We will need to know about this. And, maybe you had some credit issues, some what we call credit events, whether it was a foreclosure or late payment, or, you settled less than full balance. That all affects the credit, and most importantly, the mortgage decision when you go for the actual approval. So we don't get into those pitfalls that should all be identified in the pre-approval process. Now, I promised to tie it all together. So here's where I'm going to do this. The income goes into one section. All the expenses on your credit report and your future payment goes in another section. And then we analyze this. That's why we need to know everything. Sometimes you may make enough money, so maybe we don't need, let's say, additional income like child support or even a pension income, but sometimes it might be needed. And I didn't even talk about things like overtime and bonuses that also has to be documented for us to be able to make the correct decision. Now, I know I went through this very fast, but you can comment, you can contact us if you have any more questions. If you like this video, please put a like for us and share this information with your loved ones, friends, and the people who might need this.